Curmel Moton and Dan Davis are once again at it again. It's very astonishing the way that these two share such a lot of practically speaking. Yet their disparities continues to manage everything today. Once Mayweather and Tank started quarreling a few months prior, Tank Davis immediately turned his back against Mayweather's greatest possibility, and the outcome is the disarray we have today, showing it. He see me work in the rec center, and I feel like that is the reason he says that he see me fart. You see, me train their relationship has become so sharp that you could never think Gervonta Davis was the boxing champion Curmel Moton competed against certain years back and was in high acclaims of. Obviously, Curmel Moton has decided to be on Floyd Mayweather's side, and Gervonta Davis is clearly not having that as of late. After Curmel Moton's most memorable round knockout success, Devon Davis saw his tweet where he talked about the distinction of being on Mayweather's undercard being a blessing from heaven. The Genuine article tweeted, "At first, I just battled on the boxing undercard following the battle anyway." Before the battle, he likewise composed. Went from venerating and watching Floyd my entire adolescence to now being the initial session to the PPV piece of his undercard so insane. And when Tank was to answer this, he tweeted, "You didn't go through it. You're simply taking my story." Well, that wasn't provocative enough. What at last released the monster in the Genuine article was one more tweet from Devon Davis, which he later erased. This time, Devon Davis got over from the rising star and savaged his relatives too. He tweeted, "You cracking bonehead, advise your moronic guardians to get." I don't figure anybody would fault Curmel Moton for answering this well. He did answer and savaged Gervonta Davis. Consequently, he blamed him for deciding to battle washed warriors, in spite of having better rivalry before him. He said, "You ought to zero in on yourself and go get belts. Quit battling bums, battle the genuine winners." All of this came after Curmel Moton showed what him can do for the fifth time in his expert vocation, falling off with a 55 seconds knockout triumph over Victor Vasquez. In 18-year-old Curmel Moton, Floyd Mayweather might have tracked down the following boxing sensation subsequent to working with M10 Furez. Far back as decade, Mayweather is assisting with molding the youthful warriors, promising profession from novice to proficient. His profession is going from one solidarity to another. And on Saturday night, he procured another knockout triumph, this opportunity approaching in less than 55 seconds against Victor Vasquez in Mexico. Adding to his developing rundown of feature minutes, Floyd Mayweather previously experienced Curmel Moton, while the hopeful fighter was only a kid after his most memorable ace battle. Obviously, they won't move that rapidly. But on the other hand, plainly Moton is he strolled into my exercise center at around 6, 7, perhaps 8 years of age. Mayweather reviews, he worked with his dad and various mentors at the rec center. I could see that he had a ton of potential throughout the long term. Mayweather plays had an urgent influence in Moton's advancement, directing him through each phase of his excursion. Definitely the experience has been extraordinary. I have such a lot of involvement from Floyd. I feel like it just had me on the ball under a year into his expert profession. Curmel Moton has proactively had a tremendous effect in the boxing scene as of now holding a record of 5. Moton has shown his power and expertise in the ring, a splendid future ahead for Curmel Moton with Floyd Mayweather's mentorship and Moton's certain ability. The youthful fighter's future looks staggeringly brilliant. Mayweather communicated his pride in being essential for Moton's process. "I'm glad that I'm ready to be a piece of his life and take him to that powerful Mayweather." Closed as Moton keeps on causing disturbances in the expert boxing scene. Fans and specialists, the same, are anxious to perceive how far this rising star will go, contrasted with the warriors that are my age, with the same degree of involvement and stuff it resembles. He will be utilized on progressively famous match cards later on, not least given Mayweather's inclusion in the exceptionally productive YouTube boxing peculiarity. Anyway, Devon Davis guaranteed he obstructed Curmel Moton from battling on the Devon Davis straightforward Martin undercard. The June 15th occasion at the MGM Great Field Co-featured by David Benavides and Alexander Jix lightweight Amazon conflict is the year's second PBC Prime element. Moton unexpectedly battled his third expert bout on spring 30th, the debut show under the recently settled organization between Al Heyman's advancements and the paid membership monster. These came up after Curmel Moton imparted a montage of pictures to his fans and devotees highlighting him and Floyd Mayweather Jr. preparation at the rec center. One more shot showed the undefeated previous title holder helping Moton in putting on his gloves. Curmel Moton appeared to be obviously happy by the help and direction he has been getting from one of boxing's most prominent. He composed best group in boxing. Yet soon he got a reaction From Yvana Davis, as the World Boxing Affiliation lightweight boss said, Yo Simpleton won't be on the June 15th card either. Ordinarily, many would address why he would have said that. Well, it appeared Curmel Moton shared some data beginning his next battle tragically. I won't be battling one weekend from now on the 4th. I value all of your help with the exception of me back in June. I vow to put on an act, said Moton. Clearly, Curmel Moton was alluding to highlighting in the June 15th, Dant Davis, Candid Martin undercard. Unfortunately, the purposes behind this not happening stay muddled. However, the youthful wonder's reaction to a client who suggested whether Vaunt Davis caused the exit brought about a searing reaction from the lightweight hero. So, for what reason would it be a good idea for it bother Tank? Such a lot of the overall discernment appears to be that it could have happened due to Moton's closeness to coach and guide Floyd Mayweather Jr. The lightweight hero and the Cash are, as of now, participated in a much-promoted web-based spat. Dant Davis shooting back at Curmel Moton today, composed Michael Benson. The screen get shows succession of discussions, so answering a tweet that showed the whole card of the Dant Davis and David Benavid's twin headliner, a client remarked, Brother Tank truly threw out the Curmel Moton of the card. Curmel Moton answered that he had one more show close by. B would share the subtleties at some point later. Subsequently, he requested that everybody watch this space for all the more. Yet soon a reaction from Devon Davis showed up. Whenever take care of business of your own, lil jokester dumbhead fellow. Remember the justification for why you were hurling that chimp stuff, said the Baltimorean. The message from Tank appears to have been erased. The post from the client who looked at whether Devon Davis had booted Curmel Moton had gotten a couple of reactions. It could help those searching for hints. A client said, Curmel folks don't stream with Mayweather. Elmo one more added. Carmel likewise said the Tank ought to be centered around Plain rather than a 17-year-old himself. So essentially, Carmel attempted to in the middle among Tank and Floyd to and fro and picked a side. Fans could return to the later piece of April. This year, Carmel had shared a montage of photographs through his XH handle. It included him preparing close by Floyd Mayweather Jr. and their connections. The youthful wonder composed best group in boxing. Yet it before long got a reaction from Dant Davis. He said, Yo head won't be on the June 15th card. Either prior, Curmel Moton had savaged Devon Davis by guaranteeing he's battled the absolute best in his initial 3 battles, giving all his initial 3 rivals their absolute first loss. Well, this can't be said to describe Tank Davis, who battled most terrible contenders in his initial battles. Thus, Curmel Moton sure utilized that against Tank. He tweeted an image of his records close by the subtitle, Your fave warrior was battling bums with numerous misfortunes, initial 3 battles, future GOAT bookmark, and dish me assuming. Then I'm off base, see you in a couple of years in his young profession. Curmel Moton has battled Ezekiel Flores, Tracker Tyrrell, and Anthony Cuba. While he won his initial 2 matches by TKO, he saw his latest match get chosen by the scorecards where he stowed a consistent choice triumph.